somebody was wondering if there's warning signs that parents can look for that may indicate their children are viewing pornography. And maybe to that point, are there warning signs that a spouse can look for, a wife can look for, should her husband be involved in pornography or any of the extra sexual activities?
Whew. It's an excellent question and a tough one to answer. So thank you for that. I'll spend just a moment here, but this truly could be a whole nother topic. I will say this, let me preface with that the women I work with who have experienced betrayal usually have a similar experience of having seen some red flags over the years, but never having been given enough information or context to really put two and two together. They're not stupid. They're not in denial. They just simply believed the best of their husband, didn't expect it to be this way. And when they confronted him about various things, when they were potentially lied to directly, it wasn't clear to them that they were experiencing this kind of betrayal. So I just want to preface by saying it's the most normal experience for a woman to have experienced some red flags or concerns, but to have never had them verified. And let's be honest, as shame increases for somebody, the potential damage that can occur in revealing the behaviors is so scary, right? There was a study done a long time ago that said the top 2 reasons somebody will keep these things secret from their spouse is because they are scared of their partner's reaction and they don't want to hurt the partner. And in some cases, there's just flat out entitlement or poor character and integrity. But oftentimes, men who are struggling in secret, it is a struggle for a lot of them, for I would say most of them, at least that I work with. And so they are concealing these things, but they get good at it over time because there's so much shame attached to it. It becomes almost like a survival mechanism of keeping these things under wraps. And so when it comes to warning signs, there's nothing tried and true that is universally always a warning sign. For some women, they will look back and they'll say, well, that's why he wasn't having sex with me, because he had masturbated several times already that day or that week. And so he didn't have a sexual appetite for me. Other women will say, we had sex all the time. I had no idea this was going on. So that's an example of how there's no one warning sign that is completely usable across the board. So when it comes to children, I will say this. This might sound a little bit catastrophizing, but truly, if your kids have access to a device that accesses the internet, it is highly likely that they have already observed some sort of pornographic material and potentially have even sought it out themselves. So just to start with, there needs to be monitoring in place, because the most well-intended of children, the most highly charactered, integral kids that we have in our midst can still, fall into these types of things. And so it's important to know that the best starting place is to get some really good accountability on their devices.